Saturday, December 12th, and we are on to day 12 now of Vlogmas. I think today is probably going to be pretty calm. I do have a paper to finish writing for one of my classes, and I want to get that done. And after the week that I had last week, with the traveling and some developments and drama that happened when I came home, I think that I really just need to be calm today and kind of rest and write that paper and do some things to care for myself. That's been something that's been difficult during this time, is actually letting myself care for myself, because pretty much the whole time I have been sick, there has been a lot of drama at one of the churches that I serve. It's basically been nonstop. And it's been issue after issue after issue, and they're not able to take care of it on their own. And so, so there hasn't been a lot of space for me to care for myself. And that's been a pretty frustrating experience. So that is what I am going to work on today, is taking care of myself and finishing up that paper. So I will talk to you guys later. So I was asked to share a little bit about my devotional practices and what I do. And there's several components to it. But in the morning, what I do is pretty much the same and consistent. And I start with a reading from this devotional book. It's called Disciplines. It's from the Upper Room, which is a Methodist publishing house. And these, basically, they use the texts that are in the lectionary. And the lectionary, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a cycle of scripture that tries to cover the majority of the Bible in 3 years. So there's 4 different readings each week. One from the Old Testament, a Psalm reading, a New Testament gospel reading typically, and an epistle reading, which is one of Paul's letters or one of the other letters in the New Testament. And so this just kind of takes you through those readings and gives you a short devotion on it. And a lot of times there'll be like a prayer at the end or like something to reflect on. There are also reflection questions at the beginning of each week. So this is kind of how I start, is I do one of these. This is this year's. This is the one for 2020. So that's how I start. The Bible that I use right now is this one. It's People, Places, and Things Along the Way, the Stepstone Bible. It's a Common English translation, which I find to be pretty plain English, easy to read. It is written at a 7th grade reading level. It's actually the translation that we give to our kids when they get their Bibles. And what it has in it, let's see if I can find one, is it's got like these little insets that will talk about various people that you encounter or terms that get used or things like that, to kind of add a little bit of depth. So it's not like a study Bible, but it does have like, little notes in it. And then each book has a pretty good introduction to it that kind of sets the context and things like that. So this is what I typically use. You can see it's actually got packaging tape on it holding it together. I use it quite a bit. This is not the same Bible that I use though for sermon preparation and things like that. This is just like the one that I use for my personal time. I also do a Bible in a year. So I read through from Genesis to Revelation every year. It's like, between 2 and 5 chapters a week, or not a week, a day, that I read through. And as I do that, what I've started trying to do is like pull out a verse or a phrase that's really like speaking and resonating with me, and I'll jot that down, and kind of carry that with me throughout the day. But the other thing that I do is, so for like my worship experience, I go and I usually watch worship online at Church of the Resurrection. And Church of the Resurrection is the largest mainline denomination church in the United States. It is a United Methodist church. You can kind of see the cross and flame like up here. The head pastor is Adam Hamilton, who has written lots and lots of books and study guides and things like that. And I just find him to be challenging for me, and a good way for me to experience worship, because it's hard to do with when you're leading it yourself. So this is what they call their GPS guide, which stands for Grow, Pray, and Study. And every day there's like a short reading and like some things to reflect on. So there's like a scripture reading and then some reflection questions. And then what I have been doing is I have a private blog that only I allow myself to see. And then after I've read through this, I'll take like one of these questions and I'll set a timer for 10 minutes, and then I'll just spend 10 minutes on that blog, like reflecting on that. So that's pretty much what I do in the morning for my devotional time. And then at night, what I do is part of a daily prayer practice. It's a daily prayer service that I think is offered through the British Methodist Church. And it's 4 times a day. I don't do it 4 times a day. I just do it at night before I go to bed, and I find that that's a really nice way to kind of calm myself and meditate. So that is kind of what I do as my devotional time. If you have any other questions or anything like that, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll respond to you. And yeah, so I'm gonna go do that now. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what like happened with the rest of my evening. I was watching The Crown and knitting, and it's like almost 10 o'clock all of a sudden. So that the rest of my evening went way faster than I expected it to. I was able to rest pretty well today. It's been a good day. Pleasant, calm, very chill, no drama. So that's been really nice. I was able to finish my visual theology project. And I think tomorrow I'm going to share a little bit of that with you, because like I mentioned earlier, in the Vlogmas, it involved knitting. So I will probably share that tomorrow. And yeah, and I spent a lot of time knitting today. So I actually put a decent dent in Philip's uh, sweater. I'm trying to get it so you can see. So yeah, so the little owl is where I started today. So I've probably knit like an inch and a half on the body of his sweater uh, so far, which is pretty good. I'm probably gonna knit a little bit more before I go to bed. Um, yeah, so I am feeling a little bit worried about if I'm gonna get this done in time for Christmas or not. I have stopped working on my Land of Sweets cowl, so I'm just working on this. I have still been putting my stripes in my Advent socks because those don't take very much time, and it's just a really nice kind of meditative way to start my morning. So I think, at least on the weekends when he's not here, I am gonna just be working on this. And I may have to, when he is here, like once he goes to bed, pull this out and work on it a little bit once he goes to bed. Because I'm getting a little bit concerned about if I'm going to be able to finish it. So, that being said, I think I'm going to call it a day here. I hope you've had a really nice Saturday, and I am going to say goodnight, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Good night.